Hello. I had something kind of weird happen to me on Reddit today, which isn't weird on its own because it seems to be a central hub for trolls. Um, I would argue possibly even more than YouTube, um, if you step out of line in questioning things. And I've noticed that pattern. Um, the topic of discussion I was attempting to discuss today was that of UFOs. Now, there was some kind of government report released recently that, by the way, the outside is completely inundated with birds. It's just, I've never seen this many around here. They're just flying all over the damn place. It's kind of cool. Um, So yeah, I was discussing UFOs, and I thought I would have a normal discussion on this thread, like I normally do. I don't have any issues in this particular page where people ask anything, which is what it's called, and talk about a lot of fringe subjects, from near-death experiences to really controversial things and people claiming anything and everything you could ever imagine, including people claiming to be victims of certain crimes and such. And I just had an innocent question about UFOs, and immediately I got inundated and bombarded by trolls and nothing else. And I just, I just took down my question. I just took down my comment because it was just absurd. And I did take a look at some of the subreddits that were, you know, commenting really weird things, uh, that were really kind of nonsensical and kind of like almost threatening. It was so bizarre. And these pages look like a bunch of script. Like it almost kind of looked like a bot's page, kind of like those scammers that would add you as a friend on social media and ask you the same questions over and over. That's what those pages look like. They look like bots. So, um, I had a similar experience when I first started going on Reddit with the Mandela Effect forum. So, this would be the second one that's similar in comparison, just immediately inundated with a bunch of trolls with not a single, not one positive comment or question, nothing. And it really does feel targeted and strange and unnatural. So I just wanted to point that out. And there is a really interesting UFO case now that I'm on that subject. I'll share a podcast down below. And I also want to share Kijani Amari AK's recent video about this tower in Florida and its connections and numerology to Obama. Especially fascinating. And this particular case was a encounter of the first kind. So uh, it was in southern Africa and Zimbabwe, I think, where a bunch of school children encountered these beings that came out of a ship, and they basically showed them a bunch of apocalyptic scenes of the future. And I think they took them one by one, if I'm not mistaken, but they all had the same story after the fact, right? So they're basically shown what the human race was doing and how it would lead to destruction. And I think this happened in 1994, if I'm not mistaken. It was in some kind of secondary school in Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. So there's a mixture of, different races as there are in that region, white, black, And to this day, they stick to their story. And it's not as well known of a case as it should be. So that's why I want to share it with you guys. And I listened to this podcast today, which I'll share down below. And take it easy.